Okay, calling to order the budget review subcommittee A for fiscal year 2026.
Seven.
Fiscal year 2027. Sorry, my company does it differently, so it always messes me up. This meeting is being held in a hybrid format with some participants attending physically and others attending virtually via a Zoom video conference application. The meeting ID is 981-4011-0235. Passcode is 388595.
And then public comment.
Public comment, any speaker giving public comment is allotted up to 5 minutes in which to speak. Public comment can be made at the beginning or end of each meeting or in regard to a particular agenda item the speaker wishes to be heard on.
Great.
All right, so we'll start with the roll call for A.
Yes.
All right, so we'll start.
Subcommittee.
Subcommittee, A for Advisory and Finance Committee. Was it Gail Butler? Here. Joseph Lally?
Here.
Tom Jacinto?
Here.
Molly O'Connor here. Okay, so we will go ahead and get started. So we're doing, any public comment?
Great, now you can get
We
started.
won't take offense that we don't have any public comment. So we're going to switch the agenda to start. So we'll have your crew start instead.
Human resources.
Human
right?
resources, yes. So got Jackie Gurney with her human resource. If you guys want to take it away.
Sure. So thank you. The Human Resources Department, we had a recommended budget of $634,942. Personnel Services had an increase of $16,107, and that was due to a 2% COLA and other contractual benefits that employees were eligible for. All other expenses, we had included an increase of $3,000 for potential independent medical evaluations for police and fire, and then also an increase in professional membership and subscription costs for $200. However, both of those were already cut from our budget. And we really didn't change much of anything on all our line items. We did have one change from technical services. We were paying $2,500 a year for DocuB, which is like a DocuSign program. They were charging professional service fee to help us with our workflows and things like that. But that is included in our current contract, so we didn't have to budget for that anymore. I actually had requested to move that into our employee recognition and gifts line item. But that was actually cut from the recommendation as well, including the $1,700 cut the select board made at the last meeting. And would you like me to go like line through line? How do you? No. Okay.
I don't think we need to go line by unless there's. I don't need to go line by line.
Any questions?
Any questions on the?
Yes. The 3.2 decrease in all other expenses was, what was the majority of that was from?
In all other, so the
FY26 revised, what's driving that 3.2% cut?
We had some independent medical exams for public safety that we didn't anticipate last year. And so we were budgeting for anticipation that that could happen again this year.
Okay.
Overtime.
Yep.
Do you have more people here? Did you have more people here than now?
No, so that overtime line item, we have one staff member who's eligible for overtime. As part of the select board goals, we are digitizing all our filing, all our files, our paper files. So that $3,000 will allow the HR generalist we have to do some overtime to help with that project, which actually will save the town a significant amount of money by not having an outside company digitize the records for us.
Okay. So anyone else have other questions?
You can.
The fire and police assessment centers,
Mhm.
27,000?
Yes, so those assessment centers, the lowest cost we see for that right now is about $6,750 per the assessment center. But that could fluctuate based on the number of applicants applying for those positions.
Where is the assessment center?
They actually hold them, they hire a company that will come in and then they hold them here in town hall.
Okay. So it's the same thing as the administration? B, or what's the administration fee?
For the 111F 100B.
Yes.
So that is for 111F is injured on duty, police and fire, and 100B is retired on disability, police and fire. So we have a third party contracted to help with servicing those claims and
Okay, the 25 cafeteria plan advisory fee.
mhm. So that's a fee we pay for the administration of the flexible spending account the employees are eligible for.
Okay. All right, under the general fund, asbestos testing?
Yep, so we're required to test if there was any exposure for asbestos for employees. And we currently have a list, I think, of about 200 employees we have to test for that annually.
Every year you have to do this?
We have to offer it every year.
Okay,
Mhm. It's voluntary whether or not they're going to test for that.
okay, was it tested in 26?
Yeah, every year we offer the testing.
So was it done in 26?
Yes, yep,
And it was done in 25?
yep,
So do you expect it to be done in 27?
yep. Yeah, we have to offer it.
So people are saying, yes, they want to test
Yes,
it.
yep.
Okay, usually when you test for asbestos, it's good for a certain amount of time.
I don't know the answer to that question, but what I can tell you is we are required to do it. There was an arbitration. There's arbitrations on that had awards stating we had to do it annually. And
Okay,
I think that's under regulation
all right.
potentially.
Is it testing positive?
I wouldn't really release any of the information that's,
I'm sure.
yeah.
You're not allowed to say, isn't that public information if it tests positive?
Medical records are not public information.
I'm not talking about in person, I'm just talking about the building, is the building?
That's a
No,
different
they're-
question.
They're testing
Employees.
Employee,
Employee.
and
Employees, yeah.
retirees.
oh, I thought you were testing the building.
No,
I was like, why are you testing the building? Okay, sorry.
Is there a limited number of people that would have been exposed and that, so that number goes down year after year that we would
No,
offer
I
that
mean,
to?
it
or-
would stay, that number would remain the same.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, my last question is the employee engagement and recognition
Mhm.
events and awards. What are we doing for $8,500?
So, well, it's actually been lowered, I think, at this point to $4,300. But we, for recognition, the town hasn't been doing anything as far as recognition goes for years of service for employees. In this past year, we just implemented years of service coins. So part of that money is for purchase of those coins. We have only rolled out the first phase of it, which is retirees. So as employees are retiring, they're receiving their years of service coin for all the years they've been here. The next phase of that, which we'll need to purchase more coins, would be for the employees for milestones. So as they hit their, 5, 10, 15, they'll get a coin for recognition. And then the rest of that budget goes towards employee engagement. So we have an employee engagement committee that will host events throughout the year to get the employees together. It helps boost morale and gets, people talking to each other who may never see each other during the regular workday.
Okay. My last question is, what is a Canvas membership?
Oh, Canva. So that's if we're
Canva.
doing,
Canva, you're right. But it's-
Canva is like I don't know how to explain it, like a
Like a creative
Photoshop
program.
kinda, yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're doing flyers for events, yeah.
I was just curious. Okay,
I did actually have a comment more so along the employee recognition. I don't know if this falls in line with things you're able to do.
Mhm.
I just thought about this at the meeting before, because it's kind of unfortunate to have to cut it, but when you have to make cuts, you have to make cuts. just a thought, could be something that maybe if you're allowed to, ask for town businesses to sponsor. People could be interested. I don't know if you're allowed to do that.
Yeah, that's some things we have to check to see. if
Yeah,
that's
but if
allowable.
that is
Yeah.
allowed, I
Right.
think businesses would be into doing that.
Yeah, definitely.
So just a thought there, because I think that's a nice program.
Yep, I think we've kind of thought about those ideas.
Yeah.
We just haven't gotten to them
Yeah,
completely yet.
just-
It's a great idea though.
They'll allow you.
Yeah.
Any other human resources?
Not really anything else to ask.
And any public comment? All right, seeing none, I think we are wrapped
We
there.
approve this budget as presented.
And I move that we, or I second that, all right, we will get it down. It is recording, right?
Okay.
Yeah, and yeah, so that's what I was just noting. Yeah,
So I move it, you got a second?
all right, seconded,
Discussion.
any discussion? Move to take,
So you call the question.
call question for the vote.
Yeah, so you do a roll call vote.
All right, we'll do a roll call vote. Ms. Butler?
Yes.
Mr. Lally?
Yes.
Mr. Jacinto?
Yes.
And I vote yes as well. Thank you so
All
much.
right, great, thank you. Have a good rest of your night, everybody. Oh, wait, did you want me to stay for member benefit?
I mean, I can handle it for you if we want, you know, you think it had something.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do we want to follow the, I should have asked, do we want to follow the agenda order?
You can do it.
Otherwise, okay. We'll go ahead.
Back to the
And
top, I see
go
this.
back to the top. Let's make them sign. Keep closing the agenda, sorry.
You'll be right at it.
I assume it's indoor track. I know he's on a track team. So.
This is January, so yeah, like we do.
I never had an indoor track when I ran winter
Mhm.
track. It's a board track, 10th of a mile.
Ooh.
I apologize, I keep closing my agenda, but I think we are starting from the top
Town manager.
with the town manager, if you are ready.
Do whatever you like.
Wonderful.
So I'll just give you a summary and I'm sure you have the budget sitting in front of you. The major change in this year's budget on the town manager's office is, as you can tell, salaries and wages. So that's a 14.8% increase, and that represents two items. So it represents any contractual increases, COLAs, step increases, and also represents the two new positions that were voted at the October town meeting. So we were funded at the October town meeting for 50% of the salaries. So we needed to fully fund these positions for FY 27. So that's the difference in change. The other major change you will see in the budget is that we have decreased legal services by $40,000. And $40,000 represents the savings that we found in year one by like we often talked about, like turning the K. Last year was the first full fiscal year as in-house counsel. And I mentioned in the past, you know, we pay KPY about $325 an hour for legal services. We were paying our in-house counsel $70 an hour plus benefits. So significant savings. Year one, again, we found $40,000 worth of savings. So we expect next year to have even more savings, especially around labor. So last year it cost us $90,000 to pay for labor services. Now bringing in in-house counsel, we would expect that number to be reduced significantly. There will be a transition period. President Kane and I actually going to Boston tomorrow to meet with KP to start that transition. We're expecting it's probably be a 12-month transition period from the existing caseload that's being handled by KP, moving that over to in-house counsel. We do expect to continue to work with KP or another outside firm for land use and planning. So we'll still need some type of legal services budget moving forward, just to cover those other types of legal services that we can't do in-house. I mean, other than that, I think you guys all witnessed that the board cut our title research budget by $5,000 and our appraisal services by $5,000 as well.
So, I wasn't able to divine from the numbers, Derek, but, there's certainly some outside legal expense that you're anticipating to cover on a full year basis. And does that cover the full employee expense or more than the full employee expense of the new hires?
Yeah, so, we just labor alone, we spent $90,000 by outsourcing that. Labor council's about $125,000 salaries. But what I mentioned at town meeting in the fall was that labor is costing us more than just an attorney. The assistant town manager spends an exhaustive amount of his time working with the human resources department on labor issues, managing grievances, preparing for arbitration. So by having a full-time labor attorney, and we already started this transition, it will free up the assistant town manager I would say 90% of his existing labor duties. So, which is gonna allow my shop to be more efficient so that I can focus more on the strategic level issues. So, for example, we talked last night with the planning board and the Economic Development Foundation on economic development, for example. So this will allow Silvio to focus more on the day-to-day operations of, meeting with constituents when they have a complaint about their neighbor or something.
Okay.
This may not be, this may be a silly question, but having an in-house counsel. Is there opportunity to utilize them to work preventatively as well, so that we're staving off legal costs that come at the end of a settlement or a trial, or everything that comes along with? Is that what we're looking at as well?
Yeah, over time, we want to get into that posture. Where
Yeah.
we are focusing more on prevention. So one way of preventing grievances is to have labor management meetings, right? So
Right.
labor involved with management, so you can work through those agreements. And I'll be. Is anybody else on this?
No.
Okay. I'll be upfront with everybody. There's one union in particular that refuses to have labor management meetings. So that's the union that we have the vast majority of the grievances and arbitrations with. So you gotta have to have a willing buyer, you have to have a willing seller, right?
Sure.
And so it's transactional. So we hope to get to the point that we can build a relationship and a rapport that we can prevent grievances, because grievances turn into arbitrations.
Right.
Arbitrations cost us upwards of $10,000.
Right, don't even get started ideally.
Right, so we want to get there, but again, we need the unions to want that as well.
Sure, sure. Yeah.
Okay, two questions. One is magazines, $6,000.
So that's all of the communication services, so, I wanna say off the top of my head that a quarterly magazine run. I'd have to double check, but I believe it's about $1,000 per run, so we do that 4 times a year. So the magazines alone, $4,000 per year, and then other communication services. Would be anything else that we need to subscribe to, so social media, any other print material that Casey Kennedy comes up with. For any other types of platforms that she wants to try to push information on.
Okay.
This budget is brand new, because we've only had Casey with us for a couple of years now, so we're still trying to get a better sense of like what are the true annual costs. And right now, the magazine, because it's a print material, costs us the most at this time.
Okay. The maintenance for the art and history collection. Third from the bottom.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, so, this is a program. We have a committee. They're the ones, that if you go like on the first and second floor, you see a lot of the art. They're the ones that manage that, you know, sometimes they need funds to buy frames and things of that nature, so we have a committee, a task force that works on that. And they don't spend that entire thing, but that's kind of been an annual reoccurring, it seems. I mean, if we cut that budget, and then certainly we just do less on the agriculture stuff, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, records preservation of permanent records, is that like current records, or is that going back like the records digitization that we've kind of been discussed before also?
Yeah, so I'm just pulling up that record preservation, so the digitization is the big project, right? So that's three-phase project, it's a multi-million-dollar project.
Mhm.
And, you know, that is taking all of our existing paper records and digitizing them. Connor has focused, you guys all know Connor Anderson, we started as a public records access officer, he's now our in our archivist. So he's been working on that project. This records preservation is more of, it's just a line item within the town manager's budget, you know, to just manage the day-to-day stuff that have to be preserved over time. So it's not the digitization program, that's a separate project in and of itself.
Yeah, well, I don't know if this is applicable, I have like the Burke's Law balances here too. And under town manager has property acquisition state road from 2022.
That has to do with, the Manomet Fire Station. So we just recently, we're transferring that money back into the borrowing article.
Yeah.
Which is the project, so we borrowed like $9.1 million for that project. We went to town meeting and transferred, I believe it was like 95, something like that.
Yeah.
From that article to purchase the easement from the church.
Oh,
It ended up only costing us like 75,000, so the delta,
78,881.
there you go, okay. So we're gonna transfer that back to the original article,
Okay.
and that'll leave funding to complete that station. And then any future stations in the future, we can use that funding source
The
to.
project just winding up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was delivered late.
You know, one of the line items that when we looked at our 1% budget cut, you know, we looked at things that are probably less necessary in town celebrations. So you see a line item there for $40,000.
Mhm.
And so that represents, you know, three line items. So $15,000 for 4th of July, $15,000 for Thanksgiving Day Parade, and then $10,000 for VSP. And so our proposal was to cut 10% out of that, 5,000 for 4th of July, 5,000 for Thanksgiving, so that all three events would have equal $10,000. I think the other items in there is something that are all items that we will need a sum of money, you know, will we spend all $5,000 on records preservation? Probably not, probably, you know, look at the actual from last year's $4,000. But, you know, the town celebrations to me are nice to have, right? That we can support those celebrations. They really boost the economy here in town on those days. But if we're gonna look at cuts, that's something that we would turn your eyes towards.
Not to be the girl that keeps talking about sponsors, but is that a place that we can solicit sponsorships to
So
make
they
up
do.
for?
So they fundraise, so the 4th of July
Yeah.
group, they fundraise, I think the budget's about $125,000.
Yeah,
Part of their budget is the expectation that they get $15,000 from the town of Plymouth.
yeah,
Yeah, the same with Ollie with Thanksgiving Day Parade.
but to make up for what we have to cut, can we goal that?
So we can get donations, but we can't solicit.
We can't, oh,
We
okay,
can't do that, so we can't solicit on behalf of another
got
organization.
it.
That's where like friends of like 501c3, friends of the library, friends of the Cal come in, they can fundraise and solicit, we're not,
Mm.
that's illegal for for the town to
Right.
do that.
Is it possible that the town maybe, I'm gonna use the word on the hook, or may want to fund some of the National Day of Mourning expenses if I have the right event? It was a little bit of a brouhaha last fall.
Are you suggesting to fund that?
No, is it possible that the town maybe be required, I'm gonna use the word required to fund that?
We do fund it with 20 police officers.
Okay, so it's not, it's
We,
not overtly here, it's buried elsewhere with overtime.
it's, yeah, because
Okay.
because. the
You've
town
answered my
entered-
question.
The town entered into a 1998 agreement.
Okay.
That is in perpetuity, that requires us to make that event safe.
Yeah, so it's buried in other budgets. Got it. Thank you. Public comment?
Which, just so you know, we're renegotiating that
Okay.
agreement on Friday in Boston.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Yes, on the Burke's Law, there are 10 items that are current year encumbered. Can you tell me? Going back to 22. Can you tell me what these items are by any chance?
Do you want me to take a look at it?
Yeah, I don't think those are town manager ones, but.
That's the top management, my non spot.
Town manager is the two items above it,
Okay, okay,
not below it.
okay,
Everything below it is IT,
okay.
Sort of fiber optics and stuff.
yeah. So the two that, Mr. Inso asked about the state road property. And then the other one is, 1749 courthouse, and that's a CPC article that Connor, Anderson, the archivist, is managing that project.
Thank you.
Anything else from Anna? Any public comment? All right.
The only public is you.
Advertised a long time ago.
Kevin's down there.
No, I meant.
Yeah, she's
On the
giving
Zoom.
me a, only other participant there is me, so.
All right, do we have a motion to,
Almost as presented.
do we have a second?
Second.
Wonderful. All right, and some discussion from. Ready to move the vote? All right, Ms. Butler,
Yes.
Mr. Lally,
Yes.
Mr. DeSenza,
Yes.
and I am a yes as well. And we are moving on to
Clerk.
clerk.
So I have two budgets. One is the town clerk and office expenses, and the other is the elections and town meeting information. Salaries went up, mostly due to the fact that, between step increases and COLA, or contract negotiations. Also, it went up, it has a department head, I'm able to do some buyback. And, so I upped it to maybe take advantage of that next year. Everything else, I did ask for, if you look at the 2027 department request, I did ask for extra money for, meetings and, training. There's an opportunity to send my assistant town clerk to a training program through the New England Association. I'm hopeful I'm still gonna be able to do that, even though that amount of money got cut, from my request to the town manager's budget. And on another note that I did bring up the other night is I did ask for a minimum of $10,000 increase in postage. Up from the, I know we did that amendment of 60,000, but I thought to keep up with it, and 10,000, that was not. Town manager did not recommend that, and again, I still think that if we needed to cut, that was a place. I consider postage almost to be like snow and ice. You never know if you need it until the event happens. So, if the cut does end up happening, I'll just be back to you guys at the end of the year looking for some type of transfer. And the last is printing. You just mailed out over 30,000 census forms. Has and we ordered 10,000 dog tags, and that's what pays for that. I did ask for a small increase originally in order to pay for any increase in expenses for FY 27, but hopefully we can manage it with what was recommended by the town manager. And for elections, again, I'll use the snow and ice budget. It has it's elections, you never know how much you spend until you actually have to spend it. We budgeted for 3 elections for FY 27 because we have the September primary, the November election, and then the May election in 2027. You will see some reductions, mostly due to the fact that, from last year, because we went from the 14 locations to the 5 locations, so definitely details were cut. It doesn't look like it was cut on here, but if you look at the fact that FY 26 was for 1 election, and we're looking at budgeting for 3 elections, so it went from 52,000 to 86,000. It could have went from 52,000 to 156,000 if that's what we originally needed. And all the other election stuff is what we anticipate that we can handle. Happy to answer any questions.
Any questions on this one?
So we're gonna go first on 161A, the town clerk's budget. 161.
Any public comment?
Okay.
Good question.
Yes. Trick is the right one this time. Okay, in 23, we had a budget for $16,029 for the charter and bylaw codification.
As you're probably aware, we approved, town meeting approved it in October. I sent it to the Attorney General for approval. They have 90 days. That deadline is February 15th. Once it's received, I send it to the vendor and they'll probably, get everything online, ready to go. And I'll probably have a final bill that will close that out.
It shows a final bill here. $10,286.50.
That's what I've been spending as we've made progressions in the, have reached milestones in the project, because this started back in 2023. So they've done the deliverables, like one of the deliverables was the information that was presented at town meeting. So I made that payment and now I anticipate one more payment being made to close out the project.
Okay, so that's probably the $1,469.50.
I'm hoping it's not more than that. Let's put it that way.
Okay, is it showing a balance then of $1,595? So the question is, where does that go once you
If I don't spend it on the final project, then I will let finance director know that, and it can be turned over for whatever expense.
We close it out.
So where does that money go then?
Closes out to general fund balance.
General fund, not free cash.
Well, it turns into free cash. That's the definition of free cash, is the undesignated fund balance in the general fund.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
That's fine. I've been wanting to look up what that amount was. I didn't know what was in that.
You need to see it?
That's okay. This budget is numbered. We don't have to pay it, yes.
Just a question on the dog licenses.
Yep.
The printing cost. The cost of the license doesn't cover like the total of the program.
Well, we register about 8,000 dogs on average at $15. And to print the 10,000 dog tags is about 3,000, so we probably make money on it.
Oh.
But keep in mind, in order to get the tags, in order to issue,
Yep.
we have to
Print first.
expense it, and then the money comes in on the revenue side.
Okay, yeah, I was like, this should definitely just cover itself.
Yeah, it definitely does. It
Okay.
we just can't take the money in and pay for it.
And mind you, we vote on the expense side, not the revenue side. That's why when you
We always
have,
approve
that's
it.
why when you have these revolving accounts, we always have to approve the expenses, even though there was more than enough income to pay for it. Same question.
Yeah.
Different day.
Anything else?
No, probably.
Thank you. Do we have a motion to approve the town clerk budget? We have a second.
Yeah, second.
Wonderful. Gail, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Lally,
Yes,
Mr. Jacinto,
Yes.
and I vote yes as well. Thank you. Wonderful.
and I
Um,
move, that we approve, the elections and town meeting budget as presented.
sorry. Did I do that one?
No, you did fine.
Oh.
Well, since we heard the presentation at the same time.
Oh,
And I think we've been discussing. I move,
okay.
I move that we approve 165 elections and town meeting budget as presented.
Do we have a second?
Or maybe Gail has questions in the jump to go, in which case.
Okay.
Gail, did you second it?
I second.
Great, thank you. All right, we'll go ahead. Any discussion? Oh. Gail, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Lally,
Yes,
Mr. Jacinto?
Yes.
Vote yes as well.
you can call me Joe if you're gonna call her Gail.
Sorry, keep forgetting.
Call her Liz, by the way.
And I just wanna, speaking of revenue, and I didn't have a chance, it was on the memo. Keep in mind, we do get refunds from the state, so I do anticipate money coming back, so we did get, we should get some of that money back for the elections that we have to spend. Again, similar thing, we have to spend it and then we get reimbursed from the state.
Okay.
I don't know.
We have the 1749 courthouse broken out on the
Mhm.
agenda. We skipped that.
No, we do it now.
So we can.
The next one.
Oh, mine's with our son.
Yeah. I'll do them. I do want to put it in. 1749 courthouse, so Connor Anderson, the archivist, he manages that budget, manages that building. It's really just, it's level funded, it's the staff that is seasonal there for the people who come in and look around and walk around, and there's some minor expenses to maintain the building.
Thank you.
Any questions on this one?
Who maintains it?
Well, it's a town building,
Yeah.
so it's under facilities, so if there's any like major, maintenance that needs to be done, facilities would take care of that, but Connor Anderson, the archivist, he sort of oversees what's going on in that building.
And do they take care of all the town buildings or do they like not do like schools or?
Facilities does just town buildings, there's like 32 town buildings that the town facilities does, and then the school has their own facility department and maintains their own buildings.
Thank you.
Any other questions on this one?
I'll move it. Presented.
As presented, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Wonderful. Any discussion on this one? Public comment?
We've already got that something.
We'll move to vote on the,
And just call the roll.
sorry.
No problem.
Ms. Butler, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Lally?
Yes,
Mr. Jacinto?
Yes.
And I vote yes as well. And we are on to.
Molly, can you skip to inspectional services? Cause I have to go to the meeting tonight anyway, so I'm gonna be here for a while.
Sure.
So.
I think that's what we're,
no, we
is
have
that now?
member benefits, but we'll come back to
oh, I have a different order from somehow, so yes.
that. I just took
absolutely.
it out of the budget book, sorry.
Oh, okay, so whatever.
Unknowingly and.
I think Jeanette maybe did a little, yeah. So-
Jeanette did her thing.
So absolutely.
Oh, that was last
So what do we
year.
do now?
Inspectional services, it's at the end of that section.
Oh, okay.
It's behind the last yellow sheet in that
Two
section.
41, yeah. That's the Department numbers.
With your permission, I'll start.
Yeah, go ahead.
For the record, Jason Silva, Inspectional Services. So it's a pretty straightforward budget. It is arguably level funded from the previous year. And if you were to note any of the differences, obviously wages, employees are contractual 5.4%. There's some slight increases in Sick time buyback and vacation buyback, but again, very minor. And then, when we look at the rest of the budget meetings, subscriptions, personal protection equipment, et cetera, it's all effectively level funded. So just a big, bit of backdrop, we have, about 18 full-time employees. 15 directly inspectional services, 3 of them are located through the fire department's budget. So this again is for 15 full-time employees with 3 part-time employees, including a half-time sealer of weights and measures. We did receive a slight reduction in the town manager's suggestion, and I believe it was from 25,000 to it was $5,000 reduction in our seasonal and temporary alternate inspection line. That was suggested. That effectively is the only reduction we've seen in our budget. And if you look at our revenues are continuing to climb year over. So our department, as an example, is just under $4 million for this past fiscal year for revenues. And you can see our budget finishes out at about 1.3. So I feel strongly that this budget with these personnel and the staffing will put us in the same situation as we've been in the past year to continue to increase our revenues with any luck, more than $100,000 or so, which is about where we were at last year. And from there, if you have any questions, I can answer for that.
Okay. All right. Your comments, we expect revenues to stay strong, and remain increasing over increasing year over. Last year, year 2024, we totaled $3,650,765.10. And we currently have $3,459,847.17. Now, where does this show up? Where does this come from? These numbers?
That was from Munis at the time that we developed the budget report, which is quite a while ago.
Will this continue?
Yeah, so I do have some totals as an example for the year end. We finished at 3.781 for last year. The year before, we were at 3.597. So again, we've increased year over. I don't know what the percentage is on the revenue increases, but I again plan on continuing that. As an example, there's 2 programs that we started that we're really doubling down on this year. One is the multifamily inspection program, which we had an amnesty in the latter half of last year, from July to December. Any of our multifamily inspections were done effectively for free. We picked up over 45 new multifamily programs just from that amnesty. And within the next 2 years, we'll be inspecting them for a fee. We also are going out right now on an initiative to pick up the rest of those multifamilies that didn't respond to us and charge them for the multifamily inspections. We also have a new program, not a new program, but we're kind of doubling down on it again, offering after hours inspections. So we have an after hour inspection fee of $420. We then in turn can offer to our inspectors to go out and do an inspection Saturdays, Friday afternoons, Monday holidays. They'll get either comp time or overtime well below $420. So those are 2 programs as an example that I hope to kind of double down on, emphasize for the following year. That is friendly to people, that's offering incentives for them to, including, family, keeping them safe, and should bolster our revenues.
So, the Gazetta side of that $420 is recognized in your expense projections for the coming year. And the
No.
Gazetta side, or how is that?
So
Do you have a revolving account that handles that inspection? How's it work?
everything is turned over to general funds.
It's a general fund local receipt, licenses and
Here, but
permits.
you're paying, so you're charging the $420, okay, so that goes into the general fund. Is the cost of that overtime reflected in your budget for the coming year?
Yes,
Okay.
I
got
feel
it.
confident that going
I
forward.
thought that was the answer, I just wasn't sure.
Yes, that's that $5,000 line. Yeah, so between the 25,000 or 20,000 as it would be and the 5,000, those 2 items we use those 2 items to pick up either part-time inspectors that had to fill in if somebody's sick, or things like that. After hours inspection, should it need to be necessary, so we do use those two line items to try and pick up again, the excess that's needed.
I have a comment and a question. One is, you've got a nice department to be in for these meetings, because as the town grows, your department is gonna grow. I mean, that's just the nature of it,
Yeah.
so. Everyone should be jealous of you. But is demand being met appropriately? Are we staffed appropriately, or is waiting time,
So, double-edged sword, right? So I
Yeah.
did approach this budget this year, and I did ask for increases. I did ask for, a new initiative. I asked for admin staff
Mhm,
as well as an upgrade for some existing staff.
mhm.
That was before I really know the full fiscal crisis, so to
Sure.
speak, of the town, and so, I think given the circumstances, the question is, as a department, can I perform with what we have? And the answer is, I think confidently, at least for now, yes.
Sure.
If we were to get some sort of massive, a new Red Brook, a new Pine
Sure.
Hills, we'd have to address it, but that's not what we're facing right
Okay.
now.
It's okay
Yeah.
for right now. Okay.
I would love to be in the situation that we do so many after-hour inspections and so much work that we're throwing so much revenue in that I have to ask Lynn for more.
Yeah. Actually, I have a question on that. How do you market that after hours inspection opportunity? Is it
Well,
something that?
We just discussed it over the last 3 weeks. We've been doing them, but not marketing them.
Yeah.
So we just put a flyer out on our counter right now.
Yeah,
And I just had a staff meeting to make sure that it doesn't create a conflict with union employees.
oh, sure.
So there's some revolving kind of scenarios so that
Yeah.
everyone gets their opportunity, should they take off as a.
Yeah.
I do think that we'll get some interest in them. I think $420 is a lot. But at the same token, if there's a builder or a developer that's behind and can gain a couple days,
Totally.
they might take advantage.
Yeah. I mean, even as simple as the admin, when they're doing scheduling, saying there's an option for after hours.
Mhm.
Doesn't cost anything, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's great. Any?
Yes. Okay. So were you able to hire the two people that you were looking for? Some full-time administrative support staff. Allow time to turn around and functions of business manager. So those two people
Those two positions are not filled.
not filled.
No.
Okay. And
But given the circumstances, I adjusted and we have a couple different initiatives that I described. That hopefully we can still get some results on, maybe not as robust results without the staffing, but I still hope to turn around and try and do better. How's that? So.
okay. Let me, Inspectional services. Okay, so you have something also, right?
The e-permitting system,
I'm sorry?
the e-permitting, is that what you're looking for?
I was looking under inspectional services. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, okay. So the 22 permitting. We still have $5,036.95.
Mhm.
Now, is that going to? Free money?
We've
Once
been
he's-
using that
once
for
he's complete with
equipment.
it, so if they had to, make some iPad equipment purchases or, anything to do with the software. We're leaving that there until they're all done.
So you're gonna let them spend it. Okay. Okay. What was the? Oh, there's another one up, okay. Oh, rounding, what's rounding?
So we don't like pennies in the system, so I
Okay.
make the departments round up
Okay.
to the dollar, so it might say rounding,
It says
that's what
rounding,
that
okay.
means.
Mhm.
I don't like pennies.
Well, they're gonna be valuable.
Do you have vehicles? We do. We have vehicles there, through, the DPW. I don't know the exact division, name, but, they maintain them for
Fleet
us.
maintenance.
Yeah, thank you. I knew there was a division. So all that, like the fuel cost and everything would be under that side. I believe the town manager's office.
Oh, one last, you done? You wanna develop a plan to meet Mass GIS mapping requirements. Which are what?
So the town, in between the planning department, which is really driving most of the GIS system, that's like an online, it's like Google Earth for the town. I don't know how else to describe it. And that will take any of the information that the town supplies to the GIS group and layer that in. You could have water and sewer mains, you could have lot lines, you could have dimensions, you could have all those things. And that's, each town is kind of dialing down, putting their own layers into it. So that's the GIS system. It's continuing to evolve as new addresses come on, new parcels come on. And that system's, it's not really currently, I guess you could say, a unified system for everyone to use, but I think that's it, trying to get it up to speed so everyone can use it to some better level.
Tell me how the built inspectional services, what are the kinds of things you envision from benefiting from that?
As far as our department?
Yes,
So we're a public safety department, there's no question about it.
Okay.
So we're literally firefighters before the fire shows up, right? So if we do our job correctly, it doesn't burn.
right.
People get out, they don't get hurt, restaurants continue to operate. Everyone's homes continue to work correctly, their doors open and close,
So-
simple as that, so. Our guys are keeping everyone honest, making sure that if you're buying a product from somebody, in addition, a home, it's coming out as it's supposed to. So there's a bunch of layers to what we do. But again, we're a service, we're great in our name, and so if you need us, that's what we're there
Well,
for.
I'm trying to get at, I appreciate all that, but what I'm trying to get, I'm a big proponent of GIS. I'm trying to understand. So I've used it for your utilities and building
Yeah.
metadata and things like that.
So
But no,
specifically-
how would you use your layer? Give me an example of what your layer might,
Yeah, sure.
the
So
function of that layer and the benefit to the town. Or to your,
yeah, so the first thing that we do is look at zoning as an example of, what the zoning district is on a particular parcel.
all right,
And then we look for, like, is it related to some sort of natural resource? Is there swamps?
or you have open
Wildlife.
permits and property, buildings.
Well, our OpenGov system is the repository for all
All
that.
right,
The GIS is much more informational as it
Right.
relates to parcels and civil stuff.
thank you.
Anything else? Any public comment? All right, do we have a motion to approve the inspectional services budget? Gail, thank you. Do we have a second?
Sure.
All right, we'll move
That's
to
a
vote
really-
as presented. Ms. Butler, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Lally?
Yes.
Mr. DeSanto?
Yes.
Vote yes as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
Thank
And thanks.
I'm gonna let you stay since you have to stay anyways, I know.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. All right, moving along. I have member benefits next. Is that what you have?
Sure.
We'll do whatever you guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I
We got
think,
two more to
I
do.
think that's what's next.
Yeah.
Member benefits and town insurance.
Wonderful.
So member benefits is really both the human resources director and myself oversee this budget. Some things I do and some things she does, but I told her I'd pitch hit for her tonight because she wanted to be somewhere at 6 o'clock. So as far as member benefits, this is really sort of all a lot of our benefits for employees and some retiree benefits are in this budget. Member insurance, which is under subcommittee B, that's our self-insured health insurance budget.
That's the unexpected
That was the
cost from.
yeah, that's our
Okay.
self-insured program where we transfer that money into the trust fund to pay our health insurance claims for our self-insured products. So the only health insurance line item that's in this budget is Managed Blue. That's a premium based, it's a fully insured product. It's a supplemental product for our retirees, so they have a choice. When they turn age 65, they can either go on Managed Blue, which is like the HMO product,
Mhm.
or they can go on MedX, which is like a PPO product, and it's, they can use it in other states. So if they move to Florida or something like that, they have coverage down there. That's usually what happens, the
Mhm.
differentiating between the two. Managed Blue is becoming a much more popular product with a lot of the newer retirees that I'm seeing. So we see this budget sort of increasing, you know, sort of much, much more than the minutes budget.
And this is because they're not eligible for Medicare. That's a public employee that,
No, they're eligible for Medicare.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're required to sign up for Part A and B.
Yep.
Um, we also do our prescriptions, Part D through Blue Cross, but that's also part of it. So they are required to do that. Where we find someone who might not be eligible for Medicare is they started working here like out of high school and they have not earned enough quarters. And then because in 1986, March of 86, I think when Ronald Reagan was president, government employees, at least in Massachusetts, were required to pay into Medicare. So since March of 86, everyone's required to pay into it. And the town and pays its share of that Medicare. So that's the third line down, employer Medicare. So that's the town's 1.45% share of everyone who is paying into Medicare. Okay,
Thank you.
Oh, you,
sorry.
go,
Yeah.
keep on.
So the one budget that actually has decreased is workers' comp. So what had been happening was that budget was progressively increasing, and we're sort of in a position now where we belong to Maya, which is a group insurance pool. So I think we take advantage of some of the benefits of that pool, and also with state, you know, regulation, there's been some changes in that area. So we're seeing actually sort of a decrease in our workers' comp. And we're also seeing a decrease based on our claims, like our experience modification has decreased and our ARAP has decreased. So we're seeing that too. So this budget is actually decreasing, which is sort of unusual.
That's what did you implement that last year? That's what I was gonna ask. I remember you mentioning that.
We've been in this Maya program, I mean, forever. We've
Yeah.
belonged to Maya, but I think being as part of the joint pool, when
Yeah.
they experience credits and rewards and all that kind of thing, they distribute it amongst all of their
Yeah,
cities and towns that belong to the pool.
yeah,
Because if I went back and I looked at this budget, like we've spent as high as almost let's see, workers' comp. It's like this one.
Geez, I was hoping through some innovative new health and safety program.
I thought that was mentioned at some point over my tenure.
Oh,
But there were some programs
we-
implemented
So we're playing a huge focus on risk management.
Yeah.
With our employees and the staff, and the town manager has made it like sort of mandatory that we meet on a quarterly basis. We roll out all kinds of, you know, training programs for employees,
Yeah.
and people are taking advantage of that. We have an in-house like OSHA safety officer that she does a lot of the training with the staff. And I think, you know, over the years we've
Yeah.
experienced like that's part of it too.
Yeah.
We actually are receiving an award this week from Maya because of the great collaboration that the town has with the school.
Mhm.
Because we work very closely with them on, you know, risk management and trying to avoid losses and
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff. So
I think that's great. And that goes to the in-house council preventative, like, let's not
yeah,
have
yeah,
the suits come to us in the first
Yeah.
place kind of
yeah.
mindset.
Do you have a back to work to get back to work program? By that, I mean, at some institutions I was at, we wouldn't let you come back to work from a workers' comp claim unless you were ready to do your job 100% and. And the cost, and so we let people come back.
We have like duty provision.
Great, wonderful,
We do.
yeah, so we get back to work to get back to work,
Right.
peer pressure did its job.
Yeah, you can come to the office and file paperwork.
That's right, okay, great, wonderful.
And this is townwide, town schools.
Yeah, so what we do is the top part of this blue is the total budget, and then down below we break out the town is the human resources department 152.
Yep.
And then school is department 300.
So the life insurance line item, is that policies we're paying out?
So
What
we have
seems-
employees can sign up for life insurance.
Yeah.
It's a basic life, $15,000
Yeah.
is for active employees. You can contribute to it. So active
Yeah.
employees pay 30%, the town pays 70% of the premium.
And that's
Um,
at 70,
And that is the life insurance line
Oh.
item.
just seems low.
Yeah.
No.
We also offer life insurance to retirees. It's a $2,000 policy. Most retirees take advantage of it because why not? It's
Yeah.
and they pay, a small percentage of it also. But yeah, it's not on the life insurance. Life insurance enrollments on the town side. For actives, we have 433, and then retirees 412. And on the school side, you're gonna laugh when I say this, but on the school side, which has more employees and more retirees, the enrollments on the school side is 357 and 705 for the retirees. I think the benefits person over there doesn't think it's worth it, so she doesn't encourage people to sign up. But it's not that exciting. And then the other one that we offer to employees is a disability insurance, LTD, long-term disability. And if people sign up for that, some of the union contracts, they because they take advantage of that, they're not eligible to get like a sick leave buyback, when they retire or something like that. So that's one of those.
I just had one more question, then if anyone else does. And then on the theme of, working preventatively so that costs are lower in the future. I'm assuming whomever runs the wellness program or encourages people to take advantage of it, however that is getting used, will try to maximize that by the end. Only $100 has been
I
used.
know that Jackie, the HR director, they are ramping up sort of their wellness committee and wellness program and trying to come out and offer some more things. A lot of the things sometimes that they offer are like free through Blue Cross, but they try to take advantage as many of them as possible. And if there's anything that we have to pay for, we would pay for out of that line item.
But probably encourage, that's probably one that we want to use if we can.
Yeah. And then the only other, one thing that I will mention, the other decreases in the budget, the Medicare Part B premium and the penalty. So that's a benefit for retirees that's actually been terminated for any new retirees. So those line items will slowly go away.
What is the penalty for?
The penalty is years ago, if you didn't sign up for.
Okay, got it.
Okay. In a timely manner, you were penalized. The town didn't require them to go on Medicare. It wasn't until 2003 when they formed the special act that they negotiated them to actually sign up for Medicare. So it was mandatory. But at the time, there were people who hadn't signed up in a timely manner. So the town has to cover that penalty 100% until they decease.
Okay, there was no write-up. This was hard to understand. I'm not involved in any of this. Okay, the employer Medicare is up over 50%.
That'll increase every year as salaries increase and as it'll increase every year as salaries increase. It's the employer share of Medicare, which is 1.45% of any salary, benefit, overtime, anything that we pay.
Okay. It says here, Medicare Part B premium, Plymouth Carver retirees.
Yes. So Plymouth and Carver used to have a regional school
Okay.
system. And we had reached the retirees who retired from that regional school. We get they get charged, the schools track it, but Carver reimburses us for some of those retirees because they're on our health insurance from that Plymouth Carver, because we used to be a regional school system.
Okay, now there was talk earlier of changing some of this insurance.
I know the well, we've been meeting on this and we've been trying to look at ways that we can reduce or maybe offer some cheaper products. A lot of these benefits are tied to our PEC agreement, which is the Public Employee Committee agreement. It's a member of every union and a member of the retirees. So these benefits have been negotiated with that group. And this budget is like the 4th year of a 6-year agreement. So we've asked the unions to maybe, open up that agreement and look at some things and look at some ways that we can maybe reduce the increases in this budget.
There was talk of someone new coming on would not have the ability to keep the old rate or something?
I think you're referring to this home rule petition that was sent in 2003.
No, there's something, we just talked about this.
I think that someone is looking to get signatures to go on for a warrant article for
For the home rule
the
petition.
home rule petition.
2003. So the special legislation, the home rule petition that was passed in 2003 allows existing employees who have worked for the town and then retire with the town. When they retire, they revert back to the original percentage health insurance. So right now, the folks that are retiring, majority of them, when they started work, the town paid 90% of the premium and the employee paid 10%. Currently, existing employees pay 70-30, as Lynn outlined. So like Lee Hartman is a great example. He just retired in December. He left at 70-30, but because he retired, that special legislation applies to him. He then goes to 90-10. So there has been discussion of trying to rescind that home rule petition so that future employees can enjoy that benefit. I would say that Plymouth is probably the only community that I'm aware of that has such a benefit. If it was rescinded, 2 things. One, it wouldn't have a direct benefit to our budget today. It would have a future benefit to our liabilities tomorrow.
Right.
And then the other thing I'd say is that even if it was rescinded at town meeting, the same language that's in that home rule petition is also embedded in each one of the collective bargaining agreements with the unions. So then that means that once it's rescinded by town meeting, we would have to negotiate that at collective bargaining to get that removed. So it's kind of a 2-step process. And if I was on the union side, I would say, yeah, I'm happy to negotiate that. What would you like to give me in return? They don't do anything for free. So that they have the leverage on that home rule petition at this point.
How did other towns and cities negotiate that then? You're saying we're one of the few that has this.
A special act.
That's
It's usually just It's usually just governed by Mass General Law, by this, chapter 32. But we have a special law
Because,
because, town meeting voted to do that.
and that
Back
law
in-
was going to be forever.
Mhm,
Right now, it is forever.
mhm.
So if we didn't have that law, most municipalities, when you retire, your health insurance split is typically 50-50. Because of this special law that only applies to Plymouth, the retiree reverts back to how they started, which is for most of the people retiring today is 90-10. Right?
Mm.
There you go.
Yeah, out of the retirees and spouses, we probably have about almost 1,700 at 10%.
So 4 years ago, Lynn did an analysis. So 4 years ago, Lynn and I did an analysis. We had this fourth highest OPEB liability. And we believe that the reason why we have the fourth highest OPEB liability is because of this special act,
That was passed a long time ago.
2003.
Not that long ago. If we were a city, would it be different? Limit for a city?
No.
No, because this special legislation applies to the town of Plymouth, no matter what their form of government is. The select board negotiated this agreement in 2002. They brought this agreement to town meeting supported it. And then went to the state legislature supported it. But this law only applies to Plymouth. So because it's been 23 years now, the unions were smart and they were able to get that same language in their collective bargaining agreement.
Okay.
The Me Too clause.
Is this only until they're eligible for Medicare?
So once they're eligible for Medicare, they go from the active plans, which are much more expensive, to a supplemental plan, which are lesser expensive. But they still would
Split's still
retain
the
that,
same?
the split would still be the same. They would still have that same contribution rate, whatever it was.
Okay.
And then, I mean, when we're looking at this budget, to the point you always make, the only thing that we could really recommend a change would be on the wellness I mean, there's not really numbers we can
Yeah,
play with here.
yeah. It's all fixed costs, fringe benefits. Um,
Concrete that hasn't dried yet.
mm.
But I will say you should brag about the workers' comp. Cause
Yeah.
that I'm a prevention girl. I like coming from the world where suits come your way. It's really nice when
Yeah.
lawsuits don't come your way. So that is really nice. So, wonderful. What, anything else on this? Any public comment? Do we have a motion to approve as presented?
Motion to approve is correct.
Wonderful. Do we have a second? Gail, thank you. All right, we will move to the vote. Ms. Butler,
Yes.
Mr. Lally,
Yes.
Mr. Jacinto.
Yes.
Wonderful, and I vote yes as well.
Insurance.
And now on to move right along.
So this budget is the property and liability insurance, equipment, general liability, all those kinds of things. This current year, we actually negotiated with Maya. It's still the same group policy that we belong to, similar to workers' comp. We negotiated some new deductibles and some other premium changes. So we're gonna see a savings this current year, plus next year. So the budget really reflects an increase of what we actually spent this current year. Even though it looks like a decrease. It's just a decrease in the budget.
As we acquire more property. Right? Sort of where is that sort of trending? The more property we have to cover that in some
Yeah.
way, shape, or form, I'm assuming.
Yes, yep. So, for example, we acquired 22 Mary B. Lane in Camelot as future offices or administration offices for DPW to try to consolidate all of DPW admin into one building. So that is a new building that we added to the health and not health, to the insurance rolls this past current fiscal
Mhm.
year. It's actually being insured right now as a vacant building because we're not occupying more than 31% of that building. But we're hoping that that would change in the future.
Oh, I thought we had people in there so that we wouldn't pay.
We have the sign shop in there, but it's not, they're not greater than 31% of the building. Yeah.
Had a different story.
Yeah. We're working on maybe trying to add some other groups
Okay.
in there, and I just talked to the insurance company yesterday about it because the challenge is that it depends on what they put in there. For example, the craftsman, like you can't be it's insured as a vacant building, so we can't be using like tools in
Mhm.
there and like making things and, possibly burn the building
Mhm.
down.
Sure.
So the insurance, the provider doesn't want us to do that. So we have to be careful as how we do house that building, and it could, like, they'll come down and do an inspection, and then maybe we get to a point where they're like, okay, we're fine with how you're doing it right now, and we don't have to insure it as a vacant building.
Mhm.
But that's sort of where we stand.
Right. We got a different story building committee, but we'll figure it out. It's not relevant for this. Let's keep going.
Insider info. Any questions?
Um,
We're on insurance, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Spooner Street. So that's 10,000 a year
Mhm,
that we're paying.
mhm.
That is
We're
for,
insuring it as a vacant building. It's a building that we still own.
Where is that?
In North Plymouth,
It's the old fire station.
Okay.
oh, okay.
We thought we had a buyer.
Yeah.
This past summer, and negotiations broke down, so. We're revisiting the sale of that property.
Okay, all right. Simon's house. 40,000.
yeah, so because that property has rental units in it,
Two.
yeah, we can't not add it to our regular property and liability insurance rolls. We can't list it as one of our buildings. It has to go out on the open market, so we go through a local insurance agent in town that provides a policy for us on that house.
Approximately, what's the rental income annually?
It's low income.
It's
I'll tell you.
Less than 40, more than 40? That's a
Oh,
lot
it's
of.
definitely
No,
less.
yeah.
It's like,
one of the units is 1,300 a month, and one of the is 1,400 a month.
Right, so it's about 36,000.
Yeah, yeah.
Slightly less than that, 36,000, yeah, okay, so.
And we still have to pay for heating and
Mhm.
All that
water
other stuff.
and.
I think we're in the process
Landscaping.
right now of, right?
yeah, we put the property out to bid RFP over the fall time period. We had one nonprofit who responded to the bid. It's Management Science Inc. It's the bird group down on Management Point Road. We actually just had another meeting with them today. We're trying to finalize a purchase and sale agreement that we can bring to the select board. A final ratification.
Great.
Okay, where's the other one? Okay, so Mary V, we're paying 45, but until we can get in there and really start to work there. And what is the timing on that?
So we're in, I think the
We haven't selected
designer,
the designer
the
yet.
designer is gonna be selected hopefully soon. We have an OPM. So, that'll probably take, 10 months to a year probably to design. And then they would come back, they'd have construction estimates on, what, or they'd get construction estimates on how much it would cost to construct, to renovate that building for the administrative offices. So we'd go back to town meeting.
Yeah,
To get
the
funding
latest,
for
the
that.
last I heard, which was at least 2 months ago, was it would probably be fall town meeting of 28.
Yeah,
Excuse me, of 27. 27
okay,
for construction authorization.
yeah.
Maybe you have a better
So
update than I do.
no,
Well,
it
I
probably
mean,
You
sounds.
gotta have a year for design
Yeah.
town meeting.
Yeah, that's probably on the design and construction side, but it's certainly. That seemed optimistic.
Oh, yeah, I'm an optimistic guy when it comes to
Given,
design.
well, I think you guys will be complete with your work. I don't know if Lynn and I will be
Right,
ready to.
Yeah, we
put that
might have
before
to,
the-
might have to mix it in with a few other projects.
Yeah,
For
I get it.
financing, so,
sequencing.
Yeah.
That's what it used to call.
yeah.
Right,
Okay, that's all. I have.
Such a small line item, but, I'm surprised the Long Beach bathrooms aren't Sandy's. They don't,
The only thing that, so we own all that property.
Yeah.
Sandy's leases.
oh, they
it
do,
from
oh,
us.
okay,
Um,
and then they pay their own insurance for
They-
the.
yeah, they
Interesting.
do.
Okay,
the only thing that this is we pay for the flood insurance for the
Hmm,
bathrooms.
just the bathrooms,
Yeah.
interesting. $1,000 here, it's worth it. Anything else? Maina? Any public comment? All right. We have a motion to vote on the town insurance budget as
move it as
presented.
presented.
Do we have a second?
One second.
Wonderful. We will move to vote. Ms. Butler, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Lally?
Yes.
Mr. Jacinto?
Yes.
I vote yes as well. Budget passes.
Alright, so one last chance for public comment and then we vote for the good.
One last chance for public comment. And do I have a motion to adjourn? Yeah, thank you. Do I have a second? Wonderful. And Ms. Butler, how do you vote to adjourn?
Yes.
Mr. Lally?
Yes.
Mr. Jacinto?
Yes.
I vote yes as well. 6:23.
You're going to our meeting?